So I love the movie Devdas and I wanted to do a look based on Madhuri Dixit's character. I started off by using my Huda Beauty color concealer in the shade Peach and put it on the areas that are discolored and that I want color correction in. Then I took a small brush and patted it into place, trying not to move it around too much. I do have some areas of hyperpigmentation and some veins underneath my eyes, so I like to use this color corrector underneath. I then took out my NARS creamy concealer in the shade Medium Custard and put it over top of the Huda Beauty color corrector. I usually let my concealer sit for a couple of minutes before patting it in or blending it in because I find that I get better coverage this way. Once the concealer has had a few minutes to set, I start patting it into place with a small brush. I follow this up by applying my foundation and then blending it in lightly with a brush so as not to displace the color corrector and the concealer. Now I'm lightly contouring my cheeks and my nose using the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette. I like to do it slightly above where my natural cheekbones are because it makes it look a little bit higher up and I like the effect. I don't contour my nose too severely because I'm not very good at it, but I just do it a little bit to provide some definition and shading. I am now setting my under eye makeup with Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Powder. I don't remember the name exactly. And I'm prepping my lids with NYX concealer. Now I'm bringing out my Huda Beauty Rose Gold Palette Remastered and starting with the shade Doll Face. I'm applying Doll Face above my crease area because I have hooded eyes. I prefer to create a false crease, so I'm applying it above and blending it well. This will be kind of like a transition color. Now I'm going to apply the shade Risque, which is slightly deeper, just underneath to deepen and to provide some dimension. I'm using a smaller brush to do this and trying to make sure that it's blended quite evenly. Now I'm taking my NYX Can't Stop, Won't Stop concealer and I'm going to cut my crease with this. Her actual look is not a cut crease, but I prefer doing a cut crease. And since this is a look based on her character, but not necessarily exactly like her character, I'm choosing to do a mild cut crease for this look. I'm now taking my same palette and taking the shade Bubbly, and I'm going to pat it all over my lid, paying particular attention to my inner lids. Now I'm going to pat the shade Pink Diamond all over my lids using my fingers. The reason I use my fingers for these shimmery shades is that I find that my fingers pick up the product more evenly than a lot of times than the brushes do. I do make sure that my fingers are clean in between dipping between my eye and the shades. I've now started using my Huda Beauty Icy Nude palette in the shade She Rich, which is a deep brown shade. I'm using it to underline my eye and deepen the outer corner, upper and lower. I'm pointing up and down because her eye shape is like her eyes are a little bit downturned and mine are upturned. So I'm gonna attempt to make my eyes look a little bit more downturned than they actually are. I don't know whether it's going to have any effect, but I'm going to try. So you can see that I'm taking my NYX Epic ink liner and doing a slightly downward crease as well as the inner corners. I'm now taking the shade It's Giving Jade by NYX. It's a pencil liner and I'm going to line the inner under corner of my eye with this shade. This is a beautiful green shade. If you've been following me for a while, you'll probably notice that I like to put a little bit of green or a little bit of blue or a little bit of gold under the inner eye. I just think it looks really pretty. I did also underline the waterline with a black pencil, and now I'm using Lancome Mascara Lash Idol before applying the next shade. I'm going to take Citrine Envy from my Pat McGrath Celestial Odyssey palette and just pat it over the green liner that I had just applied. I find that it gives a really beautiful shimmer and sparkle, and that's kind of what I'm after here. So I just pat it on gently. Then I follow up by putting on my Ioni Half Lashes. I bought these from Dollar Tree, so they're not expensive and they're beautiful. I was lucky enough to receive some blushes from the new Yves Saint Laurent collection, and so I'm going to be using number 44 Nude Lavalier, which is a dusky pink satin. It is a beautiful color and applies really well, and I love it. I wasn't actually sure what color of lipstick I should use, as the pictures are quite different of her character. So sometimes it looks like she's wearing burgundy, and sometimes she looks like she's wearing a pink color. So I started off by using Milani pink. It's a bright, vibrant pink in the shade Blossom. And then I followed up by adding a Dior lipstick. I can't quite remember the shade, but I'll write it in the comments, or I'm sorry, in the description. Now I'm adding a little bit of highlighter to my inner corners, and I'm using Rare Beauty's Enlighten to do that. It's a very, very pretty highlighter, and I'm also using it above to highlight my brow bone a little bit. So it looks like I'm done the actual makeup part of it. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Now all I have to do is to add some jewelry. I don't have the exact jewelry that she was wearing, so I'm wearing a few makeshift pieces here, and then I'm going to also wear a set that I got from Amazon a few years ago. So here is a close-up of the eye makeup with part of the other set I was talking about. This is a very heavy but very beautiful set, so I think that it kind of matches, or at least it gives a bit of the effect of the same jewelry that Madhuri was wearing as Chandramukhi. If you have made it to the end of this video and watched the full thing, then I thank you very much. I would appreciate it if you liked this video and subscribed, and I would love to hear what you think of this makeup look as well as this jewelry. And I really hope to see you again. Thank you so much for watching.